to Wakio Mzenge. I don't know if you've ever watched any play, and I don't know if you watch Kenyan television, because you've definitely seen her somewhere. I stand a queen award-winning actor. Nowadays, you don't go by actresses. Sindio mulikata, mlisema nyinyi ni actor. All of you are actors.
Certainly actor. Kama to doctor.
It's true. You don't say doctoress.
Yes.
You don't say even her magistrate lately has been scrapped. It's just yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Ati lady justice.
Lady justice.
Do you say Mr. Justice? You don't. So yeah, me, I'm here for it. By the way,
awesome.
So we've talked about Gigi even before the show debuted on Showmax, for about 2 weeks before the debut date. And it's good to put a face to a character. You're playing Jules' mom. Jules is the protagonist.
Yes.
Wakio, please. Is it just me, or are you guys on something? Because the story that is Gigi is what is playing out in the Kenyan our society right now.
Absolutely. I think for me, like when I'm making that decision of going for an audition, I look at two things. One, what is that show saying? And secondly, what is my character doing? What is the role of that character to either propel that conversation forward or destroy it?
Yeah.
And you are absolutely spot on when you say that this is like a foreshadowing or a crystal ball vitu nini for us to see what is happening. Because when you look at the theme and what we are discussing, what is showing on Gigi, Gen Zs, these 4 girls, what they have in common, of course, apart from their gender, is that they are struggling with fitting into that society.
True.
And making the best out of themselves
with
in that
no
society.
opportunities.
With no opportunities.
Being pushed to do things they would not necessarily
Absolutely.
do.
You see, like one of them decides to get married to a pastor.
Oh, no.
And I'm too, I'll forgo all my dreams and visions and get married because society will accept me.
Yeah.
Another person decides to stay in a marriage that is toxic because society will accept.
Yeah.
Another person is struggling to please their mom. It's insane.
Yeah.
And not even achieving it at the end of the day. So these 4 girls are talking about dysfunctional societies.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is
and
true.
Dysfunctional societies, they stem from dysfunctional homes.
It is true. And how many, I'm looking for the name of his name, Makali, the underworld. How many children have we seen fall into crime because there are so many Makalis around us?
Yeah.
Even when the Gen Zs are protesting, sorry, I have to mix both reality and your show.
Yeah.
But even when the Gen Zs are protesting, there's the Makalis who are leading them astray, and we've seen people take advantage and take hostage of the situation, and now there's crime also in the mix. So wow, who is this? Who is the playwright? Who is the person who's written this show?
But they usually say usanii ni kioo cha jamii.
That is true.
It is and you know, aipitongi na wakati.
Yeah, a reflection of what a mirror.
Yes,
a mirror.
Exactly. And it always goes round in circle. Like, we'll overcome this. And someone told me something very interesting about, like, when you grew up in poverty and you work so hard, you get money.
Yeah.
Then you treat your children so well. But your children now become so entitled. So they forget. And because they have seen, by my forgetting, I've really suffered as in my adult life. Now they start finyaing for the children that they give birth. So it goes round in circles.
Yeah.
It goes round in circles. And this is the same thing that is happening with our society. The more we raise children who are dysfunctional, it will reflect in the next generation and the next generation. But there's a generation that will be fed up. And that generation will rise up and you'll do something.
Yeah.
And
that's what we are seeing.
That's what we're seeing
playing out on the show,
and in reality.
I love you're a Kali, mom. You're a Kali. Okay, like on the show, you're a Kali. You're the textbook typical African mom. The ones who you were scared to show, like the mischief you were into. Do you think we still have those moms, or are you guys playing with the society's psyche that it all boils down to parenting? Was that intentional, or is it just you bringing out the character? Do you steer the character in the direction you want to, for instance?
Yes, you do have a role to play, because you're not given everything. The script doesn't give you everything. So there's a role that as an actor now you have to play in terms of creating the motivations of why this character behaved the way they do. So for me, like Milka hates her first child.
Yeah.
So bad that I can't even understand. I can't fathom why you would loathe your own daughter in that manner. And then, of course, I had to look for motivations towards that. And I'm not going to disclose that. Those are personal to me.
Really?
But yeah.
But where do you draw that kind of bile? But very many people have issues with a parent.
Yes.
Some, mostly their moms, but many people. And there's people who don't understand why you cut your own mother off. And I think this is a really nice platform to address
absolutely
that domain.
What the show is trying to tell you is that it boils down to parenting. That we must do something about parenting. When you look at Jules, kwanza Jules.
Yeah, Jules ni ule dem.
Jules kabisa. Anyway, wacha tu nimwache because mamake peke yake ndo anajua babake ni nani. Wacha niache hayo. Tafakari ya babu.
But do you know that is true to so many people in our nation and the world over? Yeah.
I know. And you see, people are dealing with things differently. Like, because of the society that she comes from and the environment that she's in, what are the opportunities for her to seek that validation? Because these are 4 girls who are struggling with self-worth.
Yes.
And there's nothing more gullible than someone who's seeking validation.
True.
Because then you can be taken advantage very easily. That's where Makali comes in. There are so many Makalis in this world.
Ready to swoop in.
And take advantage. And even them, they are also suffering other things that they, stem out from their own parenting and their own childhood trauma and whatnot.
I love that.
So addressing it from the root, which is the family. And you might think, Gigi is just these 4 girls in this Kitongoji, they're just from Jericho and that's it. But there's Jericho, there's Maringo, there's Buruburu, and they're all of these places have those representation of those 4 girls.
True.
And then it becomes the county. Then it becomes the country. Then it becomes,
a generation.
Yes.
Then
it's the whole world. And then there's a whole movement of a dysfunctionality we cannot be able to address.
Me first, the timing. That high
spot on,
some things you see and you're like, this is so tone deaf. This has nothing. It's not a Kenyan story. I don't know where in the world why you're trying to play an American story with guns, and this is true to what goes on in our country. And Gigi is a Kenyan story.
And I think Showmax generally has an opportunity to actually explore those stories. Because as we was talking before offline, there's County 49.
County 49. And then it came, before the debut, we were doing the activation on the show. I'm like, child, I might say something and get fired, but who wrote this?
Inappropriate match.
Who wrote Who are these writers who have been here all along? Because this is what we need to see. Forget Hollywood and that crap. We can only show bling bling for too long. True stories that are true to us.
And when I tell you that these are generational, and it's sad that stories that have been written, say like Betrayal in the City, written in the 70s, it's still a reflection of our society today.
Very true.
Look at Sarafina, the show. Written
that
also
now is back. It's a TBT in our country.
It's a TBT in our country.
The Gen Zs are marching to freedom is coming tomorrow.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Who would have thought?
Exactly. So it means that we are really not changing. The much things are changing, the much they're remaining the same. And we need to start addressing on how can we be able to, cement that change and bring prosperity and that zeal for life again. Because now everybody's just feeling like, kinda.
Yeah.
But
I love how powerful art is, like especially your art form. We always, it feels like, I'm saying it feels like, it not necessarily true, that the only people we have to look at, all eyes are on our politicians. They don't have to be. As our actors, fill up space, because you also it's subliminal messaging. When you watch something long enough and repeatedly, it changes how you will think. So you need to continue with the zeal you have and the stories, beautiful stories like Gigi, to shape this society, because there's messaging in there. I want someone to watch this so that they can understand the kind of, when I had you all were coming, I was like, I need to know which Muchawi is. Semini ni Mkamba, sindio sini wabaya. Because I saw the story. I was like, what? And then
ukakumbuka some of your relatives back at home.
Yes, I was like, kuna mood Showmax and our patia leakage. But the timing, you can't even write it. This one is divine almost.
That is the power of storytelling. And I think when we as much as this is an adaptation, because it's a story that was done in South Africa before.
Yes.
But we are just a global village. We are going through the same things over and over again. And so you see now Ghanaians.
Yeah, they're like,
decided, even us,
me
by
too.
the way. Even us, we can do it. It's only Ugandans who are like, yeah.
Could never. We dare you. We double dare you.
But that's the thing, like, just embracing our stories and be able to tell them with the authenticity and the true form of it, and just being raw about our stories. And I know there are people who will be like, oh, we can't watch that show, it's too violent. But the violence is real.
Do you watch the news?
Happening.
Do you watch the news? Have you? Because me, I'm shook. If none of y'all is shook, me, I'm like, in fact, Gigi should be part of the curriculum. What do I watch? Because me on Thursday, I could not leave work. I could not exit the expressway. So that's as real as it gets when it affects all of us.
And I think also, like, even as much as we put those, advisory, whatever, who should watch, who should not watch, I think it gives us an opportunity to parents to watch these shows with your children.
True.
And get into discourse. Start discussing, okay,
true,
how does this happen in our setup? And how can we address it? Like, how did these girls get into this crime? Why is this mother treating this person like this? How would you behave if you're the one in this situation, And then now we can start, engaging them in such dialogues. We can probably get solutions.
It's true. Because, we come from an age where theater was big. That we would go and the thespians, you whole lot would pass messages. Now, I'm so sorry, the hustle. Sometimes there's no time. The 24
there's no
hours
time
is not
for community
enough.
theater to sit down 2 hours.
It's the truth. But now it's at the convenience of you. And then thank God for Showmax. And imagine this is not because they've paid for anything. This is the truth.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. Find some time. Watch it online or offline, because you can download all the episodes and then you watch them
and binge
back
them,
to back. And this is a powerful story. Me, I love it. Me, first, I'm not even hating on anybody. I know there are certain shows in our country at the moment that are part of franchises that show opulence and people spilling champagne on each other. But I'm like, not at the moment. And it's not shade. It's not shade. I'm just saying that there's a time for everything, and now's not the time. You understand? We need to take a small pause. Something is wrong. We need to take a pause and fix something that's broken, because it's more than just the president making certain decisions.
Yeah.
At that, the most truest level is the family level.
Absolutely.
In your house, in your home, with your children.
So let me ask you, who do you relate with most on Gigi?
Okay, me, I always like the bad person. No offense. No, because it takes some form of magic to be a Makali, for instance. I'm serious. I feel like not the protagonist. The protagonist is your daughter, Jules. I feel like the person who has the most fun is the villain. So Makali, I want to see. And unasema you are the only one who knows Baba Jules ni nani? Mimi pengine na guess Baba Jules ni nani? Maybe I'm guessing who. Yeah, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I don't know. I'm saying.
Goodness.
I'm not
I think
spoiling.
you just have to watch the show. Guys, don't be deceived by this amazing lady here. She could just be sending you to the wrong direction or the right direction. We don't know.
You have to watch to see.
We have to watch to see.
Wakio, you have to come back.
I will be back.
You have to come back on the show.
Inshallah.
You have to come back on the show. So I'll tell you how you can get Showmax. Download the app for free on your mobile device from your app store, your Play Store, and subscriptions start from only 300 bob.
Have you seen the new look though?
You've relaunched bigger and better. With new offerings. Gigi was one of the new offerings.
Yes, and
I don't
also
like football, so I'm Team Gigi.
Okay, sawa.
My man can watch football for us. Me, I like drama.
Nice. So there's so many new titles.
Yes.
And Anti-Kantai is one of them. Big Girl, Small World.
But even Anti-Kantai, anyway, it's okay. Yeah.
Real Houses of Nairobi pia imerudi, a new season.
Yes, bigger and better.
Yeah, there's so much to play around with, and then also the affordability aspect is really, really dope, and the fact that it's on the go, as you said, for convenience purposes.
Yes.
And then you can binge. Like if you don't have to watch it every other time it's released, you can just changa hiyo anxiety yako alafu we release mara moja pa binge, like a Tuesday.
Yeah, true. No, that loose day where the teenies decide we're not leaving our houses.
That's a holiday we've been given, the public holiday by force, by fire. What's Gigi?
Wakio, God bless you. And whatever you're doing, may you continue to reach many minds.
Thank you.
Because I believe it all is... You're coming to play with our psyche and how we view things.
Thank you.
Just continue. It's such a powerful art form. If I could do anything, I always say I would sing, but I wish I could act more.
Yeah.
Anyway, I act like I'm okay. It's like adulting. You act like you're okay.
That's
but you're
acting
not okay.
too. You seem to be very good at it, though.
But I'm not okay. Half the time I'm just broke, but yeah. Such an honor.
Thank you so much for having me. And we hope that as people are watching Gigi, you're staying safe and you're thinking about your country and what you can contribute actually to make the conversation moving forward. Be fearless, be tribeless. That's what's up.
I love it. Short and absolutely sweet. The boys are drooling from the glass. Just look. Stand by for the news in 30 seconds.
I saw you yesterday, and I heard what you had to say.